The lack of public defenders isn't the only problem facing low-income Mainers who need legal help. There is also a shortage of lawyers available to represent those people in civil cases.
And things are about to get worse, with funding for some civil legal aid services about to expire. News Center Maine's Raya Wooten explains.
Survivors like me should not.
She wasn't prepared.
My experience was one that just suddenly happened out of nowhere.
And countless.
During the pandemic, Ann Segalini fell victim to an abusive partner, the father of her children.
Having somewhere to turn isn't necessarily where survivors are thinking right away. They're thinking, how am I going to get through today?
Lawyers with Pine Tree Legal provided free civil legal services and guidance. They became her safety net, she says. But funding to support public civil justice aid like the help she received is in jeopardy.
We need a lot more.
And the net legal aid providers cast for people who can't afford legal representation in civil cases continues to tear.
Without legislative action, $2 million in annual funding will expire and services will be slashed.
As Democratic Senator Ann Carney explains, the state allocates $1.3 million toward the civil legal aid system yearly. In 2023 and 2024, the legislature invested $2 million more for those services.
And that was used to hire more people to deliver more services.
But the additional funding is set to expire in July.
It is absolutely a risk that we would have to let folks go from organization to organization, and that our ability to serve folks across Maine would shrink dramatically.
What's at risk here with the loss of the funding in your eyes?
It's the risk of critical resources to women and children and families who need support.
Keeping domestic abuse survivors like Segalini and others who need civil representation in mind, Senator Carney proposes LD 1022, a bill that would continue the additional funding, adding $2 million to the annual baseline budget.
There's just not a lot of money. So as honorable as the request is, if there's no money there, there's no money there.
Republican State Representative Rachel Henderson says, considering how tight Maine's budget is, she believes ensuring funding for criminal legal services should take priority over funding civil matters.
It's more of like a fundamental concern for me that we continue to add things to the baseline while the baseline just continues to grow without any oversight.
With that, the state budget continues to be something Republicans and Democrats can agree on.
From my perspective, it's not an either or, that we really need to prioritize both of those things.
At the State House, Raya Wooten, News Center, Maine.
The National Justice Index standard, which measures access to justice, calls for states to have 10 public legal aid attorneys available for every 10,000 people with low income. Maine currently has 3 per 10,000.